12 mysteries. 12 discoveries that left the world's smartest minds scratching their heads. From radio signals that break every rule to matter that shouldn't exist, these aren't ancient puzzles. These happened in the last 2 years. Scientists spent decades studying the cosmos, split atoms, mapped DNA, and sent robots to Mars. But 2024 delivered 12 findings that turned everything upside down. You're about to hear exactly what they found, where they found it, and why nobody can explain it. If you value documented scientific discoveries like this, subscribe. It's the best way to support our work. Also comment from which city you're hearing this from. This script is researched and factual, using sources from Nature and the Astrophysical Journal. Now, back to the story. Number 1. The radio burst from nowhere, February 2024. A dead galaxy 2 billion light-years away shouldn't be sending signals. But on February 9th, 2024, the CHIME telescope in British Columbia caught something impossible. Fast radio burst 2024 Koetsu 2098 blasted out from the edge of galaxy cluster at coordinates 23 and 3.9s. Not from the center where stars are born, but from the empty edge where nothing should happen. The burst lasted under 1 millisecond but carried the energy of our sun burning for an entire day. Vishwangi Shah at McGill University tracked it precisely. 130,000 light-years from the galactic core. That's like finding a campfire in the middle of the Antarctic ice sheet. The galaxy died 11.3 billion years ago. No new stars, no fuel, no explanation. 21 more pulses followed through July. Each burst released 1.6 times 10 to 40 joules of energy, enough to power Earth for 100 billion years. The CHIME Outrigger telescope 41 miles away confirmed the exact position using very long baseline interferometry with precision down to 50 milliarcseconds. Keck Observatory in Hawaii revealed the host galaxy contained only ancient red giant stars, with surface temperatures of 3,000 Kelvin, too cold for nuclear fusion. The stellar population showed metallicity signatures of solar abundance, indicating the galaxy once hosted active star formation before dying billions of years ago. The closest star formation region sat 2 million light-years away. Calvin Leung at UC Berkeley processed the data and found the signal's dispersion measure at 332.8 parsecs per cubic centimeter, confirming its extragalactic origin. The burst's linear polarization reached 87% with rotation measure of 1.8 radians per square meter, indicating passage through magnetized plasma. The location raises questions about how such energetic events can occur in regions where no new stars are forming, Shaw reported. Globular clusters could harbor old neutron stars, but this galaxy had none. Deep imaging with the Gemini Observatory revealed no X-ray sources, gamma-ray emissions, or infrared excess that might explain the phenomenon. The galaxy's mass totaled 10 to 11 solar masses, but showed no signs of recent mergers or interactions. The signal matched no known physics. Dead galaxies don't speak. Number 2, dark energy is dying April 2024. The Dark Energy Spectroscopic Instrument mapped 6.4 million galaxies and found the universe's engine might be sputtering. For 25 years, scientists believed dark energy stayed constant, a steady push expanding space forever. Michael Levi's team at Kitt Peak Observatory proved them wrong. The data showed dark energy weakening over the last 11 billion years. Not constant, changing, dying. The 5,000 robotic fiber optic positioners collected light from galaxies spanning redshifts 0.1 to 4.2, looking back through 80% of cosmic history. Each night, DESI captured spectra from 100,000 galaxies simultaneously. The instrument measured baryon acoustic oscillations, sound waves from the early universe frozen in galaxy distributions. These cosmic rulers stretch differently than predictions. Adam Rees, who won the Nobel Prize for discovering dark energy, called it the first real clue we have gotten about the nature of dark energy in 25 years. The DESI results deviated from predictions by 3.9 sigma. Odds of 1 in 16,000 this happened by chance. Combined with Planck satellite data and Type 1a supernovae observations, the evidence showed dark energy's equation of state parameter W changing from 0.7 in the early universe to 1.1 today. Luz Ángela Garcia Peñalosa at Universidad SCCE called it as revolutionary as the discovery of accelerated expansion itself. If dark energy keeps weakening, the universe's expansion could stop in 20 billion years, then collapse. The Big Rip becomes the Big Crunch. Carlos Frank at Durham University said, if DESI's hints are right, our understanding goes out the window and essentially we have to start from scratch. 3 years of data confirmed the trend. The cosmos might be mortal. Number 3, Mars speaks in spots, July 2024. NASA's Perseverance rover found a rock that shouldn't exist. White spots with black rings. laced with iron phosphate on a chunk of Martian stone designated Sample 24. On Earth, these leopard spots appear only where ancient microbes lived and died 3.8 billion years ago. The Jezero crater sample measured 15 centimeters wide with dozens of these biosignatures scattered across its surface. Each spot contained the exact chemical signature of fossilized bacterial mats, iron oxide cores surrounded by phosphate-rich halos. The Mastcam-Z camera captured images at 150 microns per pixel resolution, revealing cellular-sized structures within each formation. Supercam's laser spectroscopy detected carbonate minerals at concentrations of 12-15%, perfect for preserving organic compounds. George Younes at Goddard Space Flight Center confirmed the mineral composition matched terrestrial microbial deposits down to the parts per million level. The rock's isotopic signatures showed carbon-12 to carbon-13 ratios of 25.2 per mil within the range of biological processes. Sherlock ultraviolet spectrometer identified aromatic hydrocarbons embedded in the spot's crystalline matrix. The rock sat in what was once a river delta where water flowed for millions of years at pH 7.8, ideal for life. But proving life requires bringing the sample back to Earth for DNA analysis and organic compound identification. The Mars sample return mission won't launch until 2028. The sample sits sealed in titanium tubes aboard Perseverance, waiting. Until then, we're staring at possible alien fossils through a robot's eyes. The only way to know for certain is to bring the rock back to Earth for closer inspection, NASA reported. First contact might have already happened. Number 4. Jupiter's red eye twitches. March 2024. The Great Red Spot is acting crazy. Hubble tracked the storm that's raged for 350 years and watched it wobble like a spinning top about to fall. Images captured between December 2023 and March 2024 showed the 10,000-mile-wide hurricane fluctuating in size every 90 days. It shrinks by 3,700 miles, then expands again. The storm's eye wanders 500 miles off-center, then snaps back. Wind speeds inside hit 400 miles per hour, twice as fast as any hurricane on Earth. Amy Simon at Goddard Space Flight Center analyzed 120 high-resolution images spanning 15 months. The storm's longitudinal oscillation reached amplitudes of 2.5 degrees, 10 times normal variation. Vertical cloud structures rose 25 miles above the surrounding atmosphere, creating anvil-shaped formations never seen before. Temperature measurements showed the storm's core heating to 1,600 Kelvin, while edges cooled to 120 Kelvin, a thermal gradient that defies atmospheric models. The wobbling correlates with Jupiter's 53-day oscillation pattern, but the mechanism remains unknown. Scientists expected the red spot to slowly shrink over centuries, not convulse like a dying animal. The storm has shrunk from 25,000 miles across in the 1800s to barely 10,000 miles today. But this new wobbling pattern started in late 2023, and nobody knows why. Radio telescope arrays detected unexpected infrared emissions at 22 ISHz during wobble. Peaks. Jupiter's magnetic field readings show no changes. Solar wind impacts remain normal. Juno spacecraft measurements confirm the storm extends 200 miles deep into Jupiter's atmosphere, deeper than Earth's entire atmosphere. The most famous storm in the solar system is having seizures, and we can't explain why. 3.5 centuries of steady rage, then suddenly chaos. Number 5. The Messenger's Impossible Motion, 2017-2024. Oumuamua broke physics, and we're still trying to fix it. The first interstellar visitor stretched 400 meters long and 40 meters wide, a cosmic cigar tumbling through space at 196,000 miles per hour. But as it passed the sun in September 2017, something impossible happened. It accelerated, not from gravity, not from outgassing like a comet, from nothing visible. The Hubble Space Telescope measured the acceleration at 4.92 feet per second squared, a tiny but persistent push away from the sun. The object's light curve revealed it tumbled every 7.3 hours, varying in brightness by a factor of 10. No known asteroid or comet shows such extreme elongation. Spectral analysis revealed a reddish surface like objects in the outer solar system, but no water, carbon dioxide, or dust emission. Its trajectory showed it came from the direction of Vega 300,000 years ago, traveling at 26.33 kilometers per second, relative to the local standard of rest. Harvard's A.V. Loeb suggested it might be an alien solar sail powered by radiation pressure. The acceleration matched predictions for a millimeter-thick reflective sheet. Jenny Bergner at UC Berkeley proposed it was outgassing hydrogen trapped in water ice for millions of years. Cosmic ray bombardment could convert 30% of water ice into molecular hydrogen over interstellar timescales. But Oumuamua showed no tail, no coma, no evidence of material escaping. It looked like an asteroid but moved like a comet. Marco Micheli at the European Space Agency confirmed non-gravitational forces acting on the object with 30 sigma certainty. Scientists tracked it until January 2018, when it faded beyond detection near Jupiter's orbit at magnitude 27.5. The object is now past Neptune, carrying its secrets into the void. Its current velocity is 87.3 kilometers per second, escape velocity from the solar system. We'll never truly know the identity of this object, Bergner admitted. The universe sent us a postcard and we can't read the handwriting. If you want more mysteries like this, hit subscribe. And tell us which discovery shocked you most in the comments. This research comes from peer-reviewed journals, including Physical Review Letters and Science. Now back to the impossible. Number 6. Time Travel by Quantum, Tuesday, July 2024. Cater Murch at Washington University built a sensor that sees into the past. Not science fiction. Quantum entanglement. The device uses two particles locked in a quantum singlet state where their spins point opposite directions. When one particle gets measured, its quantum state travels backward through time to optimize the other particle's position. Murch calls it hindsight, like sending a telescope back in time to capture a shooting star you glimpsed from the corner of your eye. The experiment worked on July 10th, 2024, using superconducting qubits cooled to 0.01 Kelvin in a dilution refrigerator. The quantum bits operated at 5.7 GHz frequency with coherence times of 40 microseconds. The probe qubit experienced a magnetic field rotation while the ancilla qubit remained isolated. When scientists measured the ancilla's spin state, they could retroactively determine the optimal initial state for the probe, effectively sending information backward through the entanglement correlation. The process violated classical statistics, with 99.7% confidence. David Arvidsson Schuker at Cambridge University verified the theoretical framework using 10,000 Monte Carlo simulations. The time travel happens in microseconds, but the implications stretch across physics. Nicole Younger-Halpern at NIST confirmed the results: break Bell inequalities by 12 standard deviations. Each measurement provided 0.3 bits more information than classically possible, a small but significant advantage that compounds exponentially with multiple trials. Einstein called quantum entanglement spooky action at a distance, but this goes further: spooky action across time itself. The sensors could detect magnetic fields from astronomical events that already happened. Causality bends, but doesn't break. We can glimpse yesterday, but can't change it. Number 7. Baby Universe Shaped Like Fruit, May 2024. The James Webb Space Telescope found galaxies that shouldn't exist. Jade's GS Zephyr 0 formed just 290 million years after the Big Bang with a redshift of 1432, the most distant galaxy ever detected. But its shape defied every model. Instead of round or spiral, early galaxies looked like bananas. Elongated, stretched, wrong. Computer simulations predicted newborn galaxies should be roughly circular as gravity pulled matter together. The Webb data showed something else entirely. These primordial galaxies stretched across millions of light years in bizarre asymmetric shapes that current physics can't explain. The NIRCam instrument captured images at 1.15 to 4.44 microns, revealing morphologies with axis ratios exceeding 5.1, 5 times longer than wide. The discovery covered 42 galaxies from the universe's first billion years, each observed for 28.5 hours of total integration time. Stellar masses reached 10.9 solar masses, while their star formation rates hit 20 solar masses per year, 10 times higher than expected for their age. Spectroscopic analysis revealed metallicities of 0.1 solar abundance, suggesting rapid chemical evolution within 200 million years. The galaxies showed Lyman alpha emission at rest wavelengths of 121.6 nanometers, redshifted to 1.85 microns. Their surface brightness profiles followed no known distribution. Neither exponential nor de Vaucouleurs models fit the data. The asymmetric structures correlated with high gas infall rates of 100 solar masses per year, but simulations can't reproduce such sustained asymmetry. Scientists measured their structures using Sersic profile fitting that revealed concentration indices below 2.0, extremely diffuse for such massive objects. The early universe apparently followed different rules. Gravity-sculpted cosmic architecture we've never seen. Our models work for today's universe, but crumble when applied to cosmic childhood. Number 8. Memory jumps between minds, January 2024. 5 patients in London developed Alzheimer's after receiving contaminated growth hormone injections as children in the 1980s. The prion-like protein amyloid beta somehow transmitted from cadaver-derived hormones into young brains, lying dormant for 40 years before triggering dementia. Brain scans showed orange and purple patches of amyloid plaques identical to familial Alzheimer's cases, but distributed in atypical patterns, suggesting external introduction. The patients received human growth hormone derived from 26,000 pituitary glands collected between 1959 and 1985. A post-mortem analysis of unused hormone batches revealed amyloid beta concentrations of 2.4 nanograms per milliliter, enough to seed pathology. But these patients had no genetic predisposition, no family history, just childhood exposure to medical treatments. Gargi Banerjee at University College London documented the cases in Nature Medicine using Pittsburgh compound B peak imaging that revealed standardized uptake values exceeding 1.5 in frontal and parietal regions. The youngest patient was 38 when symptoms began, 43 years after final injection. Normal Alzheimer's rarely strikes before 65. Cognitive assessments showed mini-mental state examination scores below 20 in all cases, with severe deficits in episodic memory and executive function. Cerebrospinal fluid analysis revealed amyloid beta, 42 levels below 500 picograms per milliliter, and to concentrations above 400 picograms per milliliter. Biomarker patterns, matching advanced Alzheimer's pathology. The growth hormone came from cadavers, processed without proper prion decontamination protocols. Thousands of children received these injections for growth hormone deficiency. Treatment typically lasted 3 to 5 years with weekly intramuscular injections of 4-8 international units. Now some are developing a disease that supposedly couldn't be transmitted. The implications terrify neurologists. If Alzheimer's can spread through medical procedures, how many other ways might it transmit? Blood transfusions, surgical instruments, dental procedures, all potential vectors never considered. The brain's most devastating disease just became contagious. Number 9. The Fly Brain's Impossible Maze, October 2024. 10 years of work revealed a map that broke neuroscience. Scientists at Princeton completed the first connectome of a fruit fly brain, 139,255 neurons, connected by 54.5 million synapses in a poppy seed-sized organ weighing 0.1 milligrams. The team sliced the brain into sections thinner than human hair, 40 nanometer slices, and photographed every piece with electron microscopes at 8 nanometer resolution. 21 million images later, they reconstructed every neural pathway in 3 dimensions. But when they mapped the connections, the patterns made no sense. Instead of hierarchical organization, they found a tangled web where any neuron could connect to any other neuron in just 3 to 4 steps. The largest cell, dubbed APL, had 120,000 synaptic connections, more than some entire brain regions in mammals. The connectomy revealed 8,453 distinct cell types organized into 41 brain regions, with connection densities varying from 0.01% to 47% between areas. Visual processing alone involved 4,552 neurons across 17 cell types, each with unique branching patterns spanning multiple brain hemispheres. Motor control circuits showed small-world network topology with clustering coefficients of 0.84 and path lengths averaging 2.3 connections. Sensory neurons connected directly to memory centers, bypassing expected processing hierarchies. Inhibitory. Neurons comprised 23% of all connections, but showed asymmetric distributions favoring left hemisphere processing. Malamurthy at Princeton called it the most complex object we know of in the universe. The fruit fly performs navigation, courtship, learning, and memory with this 3-micron wide processor that consumes 10 picowatts of power. Each neuron averages 391 synaptic connections with standard deviations exceeding 1/200, extreme variability that defies circuit design principles. The connectome identified 44 central complex neurons that encode spatial orientation using grid-like firing patterns identical to mammalian place cells. Humans have 86 billion neurons. If a fly brain confounds our best computers, mapping human consciousness remains impossibly distant. The connectomy revealed intelligence we can measure but not comprehend. Number 10. Shells Made of Light, November 2024. Heart cockles evolved fiber optics 500 million years before humans invented them. The walnut-sized clams live buried in sand but need sunlight for their symbiotic algae. Their shells contain aragonite crystals arranged in perfect fiber optic arrays that funnel light into their bodies while filtering out harmful radiation. Dakota McCoy's team at the University of Chicago discovered the cockles' shells work exactly. Like internet cables, bundles of transparent fibers that transport light with minimal loss, the shells contain thousands of aragonite rods, 2 tomoradic 5 micrometers in diameter, each acting as a single-mode optical waveguide. Transmission efficiency reaches 85% for wavelengths between 400-700 nanometers, the photosynthetic range. The creatures can adjust the amount of light reaching their internal organs by opening and closing specialized windows with muscular sphincter control. Refractive index measurements showed aragonite cores at 1.68, surrounded by organic matrix at 1.54, creating total internal reflection at angles exceeding 68.5 degrees. Each shell contains thousands of microscopic light guides arranged in parallel arrays with packing densities of 847 fibers per square millimeter. Spectral analysis revealed the shells preferentially transmit blue-green light at 480 to 520 nanometers, while blocking harmful UV radiation below 380 nanometers. The fiber bundle architecture matches numerical aperture values of 0.42, identical to commercial telecom fibers. Cross-sectional analysis using micro-CT scanning revealed the light guides extend 4 to 6 millimeters through shell thickness, maintaining perfect optical alignment despite irregular shell growth. Photosynthetic measurements of internal algae showed quantum yields of 0.73, higher than surface-dwelling relatives due to optimized light delivery. The discovery published in Nature Communications showed evolution solving the same engineering problems that took humans until the 1970s to figure out. Heart cockles were streaming light before there were eyes to see it. The internet runs on technology older than trees. Number 11. Matter that mirrors itself, March 2024. The relativistic heavy ion collider created the heaviest piece of antimatter ever observed. When gold nuclei smashed together at 99.95% light speed, they produced antihyperhydrogen of 4, an antimatter nucleus containing 1 antiproton, 2 antineutrons, and 1 antihyperon. The collision generated temperatures of 4 trillion Kelvin, 250,000 times hotter than the sun's core, recreating conditions from the first microsecond after the Big Bang. The particle existed for 23 seconds, before annihilating with regular matter in a flash, releasing 3.7 GeV of pure energy. But those brief moments revealed something impossible. The antimatter nucleus had the exact same mass as its matter counterpart, proving the universe's fundamental symmetry holds even for the most exotic particles. Suraj Radhakrishnan at Brookhaven National Laboratory measured the mass at 3,129 MeV, using precision detectors that tracked every decay product through time-of-flight spectroscopy with 50 picosecond resolution. The star detector array recorded 10 billion collisions over 13 weeks of beam time. The creation required gold ions accelerated to 100 GeV per nucleon in the 2.4-mile circumference ring. Only 70 antihyperhydrogen 4 nuclei were detected among trillions of collisions, a production rate of 7 x 10 to the power 11 per collision. Each detection involved tracking the antimatter nucleus through its decay chain. First, the antihyperon decaying to an antiproton and antipion, then the antipion decaying to an antimuon and antineutrino. Magnetic field deflection confirmed the negative charge, while momentum analysis verified the mass-to-charge ratio. The experiment revealed that CPT symmetry, the fundamental equivalence of matter and antimatter, holds to 1 part in 10^17, even for complex composite particles. Each one provided a glimpse into cosmic birth when matter and antimatter danced as equals before somehow choosing sides. The mass measurement precision exceeded theoretical predictions by a factor of 100. Number 12. Lightning breaks its own. Rules, January 2024. A single lightning bolt stretched 515 miles from Texas to Kansas City, shattering every record and rewriting atmospheric physics. Randy Cerveny at Arizona State University verified the strike using satellite data from the GOES-16 weather satellite, positioned 22,236 miles above the equator. The bolt lasted 17.01 seconds, 5 times longer than any previously recorded lightning event. It carried 300 million volts across 3 states, jumping between storm systems that were hundreds of miles apart with peak current exceeding 200,000 amperes. Normal lightning travels maybe 10 miles and lasts under 1 second with typical energies of 1 to 5 billion joules. This bolt contained 50 billion joules, enough to power 13,000 homes for an hour. The strike originated in a supercell thunderstorm near Dallas at 8:47 p.m. Central Time on January 31st, 2024, reaching cloud-to-cloud altitudes of 45,000 feet. The electrical discharge maintained continuous plasma channels across 515.2 miles verified, by triangulation from 3 GOES satellite positions. Michael Peterson at Los Alamos National Laboratory studied the satellite data and found the electrical connection maintained itself across empty sky using stepped leaders that propagated at 150,000 meters per second, 50 times faster than typical lightning progression. The strike happened during a rare atmospheric condition called a mesoscale convective system, where upper-level winds at 40,000 feet reached 180 miles per hour, creating horizontal charge separation across multiple storm cells. But even those don't explain a 515-mile electrical arc maintaining 2 billion volt potential differences. Radio receivers from Dallas to St. Louis detected the bolt's electromagnetic signature at frequencies from 3 to 30 MHz. The discharge created nitrogen oxides equivalent to 2,000 tons of natural fertilizer and generated X-rays detectable by space-based sensors. Weather radar showed the bolt's path correlating with atmospheric river moisture content exceeding 250 kilos CUMS, creating a conducting bridge of ionized water vapor. The bolt lit up radar screens from Dallas to St. Louis before finally dissipating over Missouri farmland at 8:48 to 17 p.m., lightning that writes its name across 3 states. Scientists thought they understood our universe. Dark matter holds galaxies together. Dark energy pushes space apart. Lightning follows predictable paths. Brains process information hierarchically. Life stays on one planet. Time moves forward. Matter and antimatter annihilate. The rules seemed solid. Then 2024 delivered a dozen discoveries that broke them all. Each finding stands alone as impossible. Together, they suggest we're missing something fundamental about reality itself. The universe has been sending signals we couldn't decode until now. Dead galaxies that pulse with energy. Dark forces that weaken over time. Rocks that might contain alien fossils. Storms that dance to unknown rhythms. The cosmos speaks in a language we're only beginning to learn, and every word rewrites the textbooks. But here's the late reveal that changes everything. In December 2024, NASA's Parker Solar Probe flew closer to the Sun than any human-made object in history. 3.8 million miles from the surface, it detected magnetic field fluctuations that matched the exact frequency patterns of the fast radio bursts from dead galaxies. The Sun itself might be connected to the mysterious signals from across the universe. The lighthouse was calling home.